Welcome to this in-depth review of The Train, the 1964 war thriller directed by John Frankenheimer. This gripping film is set during the final days of World War II, where the German forces, under Colonel von Waldheim, are trying to transport stolen French art treasures back to Germany before the Allies advance. The film masterfully blends suspense, action, and moral dilemmas into a story of resistance, loyalty, and sacrifice. The Train showcases the heroism of ordinary people in extraordinary circumstances, making it a timeless tale of courage. Burt Lancaster's portrayal of Paul Labiche, a French railway inspector and a reluctant hero, provides the emotional core of the film. He is a man of few words, driven more by duty than glory, making his character's arc all the more compelling. The story kicks off with the German army retreating from France, and Colonel von Waldheim, played by Scofield, is determined to take priceless paintings back to Germany. These are masterpieces of French culture, but for Waldheim, they're a selfish obsession. He sees them as a legacy of civilization, while the French resistance sees them as the heart of their identity. Labiche is tasked with stopping this mission. Initially, he resists the idea of risking lives for art, symbolizing the internal struggle many faced during the war. His journey from indifference to active resistance is one of the most subtle yet powerful arcs in the film. As the train carrying the art travels through the French countryside, the tension mounts. The train itself becomes a character in the story, symbolizing the physical journey of the art, but also the ideological clash between preserving culture and survival. The resistance devises plans to delay or sabotage the train without endangering civilian lives. Each scene builds suspense, and Frankenheimer's direction ensures that every twist feels both inevitable and surprising. Lancaster, who performed his own stunts, gives a gritty and grounded performance, turning Labiche into a figure of quiet determination. The use of practical effects and real trains in the film heightens the authenticity, creating an immersive experience that has stood the test of time. At its core, The Train is a film about choices. Should human lives be risked for art? Is culture worth preserving at any cost? These moral questions give the film a depth that transcends the typical war movie. The paintings are a metaphor for what's at stake during war, the survival of a nation's identity, not just its people. The interplay between von Waldheim and Labiche is a battle between selfish obsession and reluctant heroism. Waldheim's increasing frustration and Labiche's growing resolve are played out in a series of tense confrontations, often without words, but with looks and actions that speak volumes. The climax of the film is both visually stunning and emotionally resonant. After a series of sabotages and daring maneuvers by Labiche and the resistance, the train is finally stopped. In a final showdown, Waldheim confronts Labiche, questioning whether the art is worth all the bloodshed. Labiche's answer comes not in words but in a silent, devastating act of defiance. The final scene, where Labiche walks away from the art, leaving it behind as a pile of abandoned treasures, speaks to the cost of war. Labiche's indifference to the art at the end signals that, for him, the real victory was in defeating the enemy and saving lives, not in saving the paintings. Frankenheimer's use of black and white cinematography adds a layer of grit and realism to the film. The lack of color strips the story down to its essentials, the raw struggle for survival. The film's use of real trains and minimal special effects gives it an authenticity rarely seen in today's movies. The Train remains a powerful and relevant film, a masterpiece of tension and moral complexity. In conclusion, The Train is much more than a war film. It's a meditation on the value of culture, the price of resistance, and the moral choices that define us. Burt Lancaster's understated performance and Frankenheimer's masterful direction make this film a must-watch for fans of cinema that challenges both the heart and the mind. Whether you're watching it for the thrilling action sequences or the moral dilemmas it poses, The Train delivers an unforgettable cinematic experience. If you haven't seen it yet, it's time to hop aboard.